Dum dum da da dum dum. Fact of the day. Fact of the day. Hello, hi, and welcome to Fact Today with me, Mark Lotsu, the Science of Game of Thrones, Volume 5. So today we're talking about two things. First thing, incest, Jaime and Cersei. So anybody who knows anything about the heritage of the Habsburg dynasty, which is the royal family, the European royal family, knows that King Charles of Spain, King Charles II, he was really in a bad way, and it's thought to be because of his messed up genetics due to generation after generation of incest. He would drool, he couldn't chew his food, he was infertile, so therefore he had no kids. There is something called the MHC, major histocompatibility complex, and what this does is it's a series of, obviously it's genes which then produce proteins, and they control these things like your bodily smell. And when you're growing up with your siblings, you recognise their smell, and you don't want anything to do with them. You've got no sexual attraction with them at all. But the opposite can happen. If you're separated at birth, then you've got something called GSA, which is genetic sexual attraction. So separated at birth, years later you meet up, and for some reason, in about half the cases, there's just an unbelievable strong bond of physical attraction between you, and you just want to get it on with your siblings. That's what happens. It's an actual fact. Now, like I said, the MHC usually stops this from happening as you're growing up with your siblings. And that's why you hear a lot of people talking about all married their cousins, because there's less of a link between the MHC in cousins as it is in siblings. So that's incest. Next, giants. Favourite giant ever? Wun Wun. First of all, cool name. Secondly, amazing giant. But are giants possible? Can giants exist? No, they can't, unfortunately, and if they were, they wouldn't be as cool and as big and as strong as Wun Wun. Here's the maths behind it. So if you take a cube and you double the length of size, you get 4 times the surface area and you get 8 times the volume. So if you take a human being and you double him in size, so it's twice as big. So, you know, someone like Wun Wun's about 12, 13 foot tall. Double normal human being in size, that means that he's going to have 4 times as much muscle. Awesome, absolutely awesome. But he's going to have 8 times as much mass. And because they're going to have 8 times as much mass, he's actually going to be half as strong as a normal human being. Only half as strong. So therefore, it's not really viable for him to be like doing all that big stuff he does, like pulling up trees and doing, because his heart and his lungs are going to be under massive amounts of pressure. Even just to be walking. Like if you're just walking with normal people, just to keep at the same pace as normal people, it would put his heart and lungs under huge pressure, whereas exerting himself in such a big way is going to probably cause the big guy a heart attack. So unfortunately, giants aren't really going to be a thing, unless they don't look like humans, because it's because of the shape that we are that means that it wouldn't work if we scale ourselves upward. But if we change shape, then yeah, go for it. Dragons, like whales, dinosaurs, perfect, just not humans. I'm sorry about that. If you enjoyed this, please hit like, please hit subscribe. Thanks for your time. Love you, bye, love you, bye, love you, bye.